Hey everyone, Brian from Bearable Traders here. It is Sunday, August the 8th, and I hope everyone's had a great weekend, and we're just getting ready here for the coming week. This is the weekend video where we review where we've been over the last week and try to figure out where we're going this week. Take a look at a few stocks that I've got on watch here, and so let's get down to it. Okay, so let's look at what we got coming down the pipe this week. Of course, we've got some more earnings events coming up. We're still into the middle of earnings, or getting towards the end of the earnings season, but we've still got lots on tap here. We've got Trade Desk Workhorse before the market open on Monday, so we'll be looking at those Monday morning, and AMC after the close on Monday, so that'll be interesting. Of course, meme stock there. Tuesday, Fubo and Coin after the market close, and Neo, eBay, and Blink after the market close on Wednesday. And yeah, so those just a few of a lot of stocks that are companies that are reporting this week, but some of the more interesting ones. So let's take a look here what else we had going on last week. Of course, the Dow and the SPY finished pretty much at record highs last week. I'd be watching for a continuation move higher. We are still entrenched in an uptrend here. Nothing showing breaking down on that, and we'll get looking at those charts in a minute. And of course, we had that big non-farm payroll report that surprised to the upside. So we had actually the yields moved up on that strong jobs report. People starting to maybe anticipate that there might be a tapering in all the buying by the Fed. And with this strengthening, or the sort of indication of a strengthening in the economy. Friday, the technology sector did struggle, just because it does not do as well when interest rates are rising. And on the flip side, financials did catch a bid because they actually do a little bit better when interest rates are rising. So depending on which side of the fence you're on, it's good or not good. US dollar also popped up here higher on Friday on the strong jobs report. So gold, consequently gold, silver, and some of the emerging markets stocks did not do well on Friday. And in terms of trade potentials for the week, I'm still leaning to the option plays on earnings reports. I like to sell calls or puts based on prior support levels after earnings calls, knowing that there's no more catalyst for a big move. So that's kind of a wrap. Let's get down and look at some of the specific charts. And before that, let's going to slide in here a quick advertisement for my book on Amazon, How to Swing Trade. If you haven't checked it out, it's trading tools, management, rules, routines, and strategies for swing trading. So it's on Amazon if you have not checked it out. Now let's get down to the charts here. And as always, I like to start out with taking a look at that 10-year yield, because I feel like this is something we should definitely keep focusing on in terms of where sectors are going to benefit and not so much, as I already spoke about. So you can see here we kind of put it in a bit of a bubble bottom here, double bottom, and the 10-year Treasury on the yield, and you can see here we're back up above 1.3 after dropping down and just holding this 50 moving average here. Looks like momentum is starting to pick to the upside. Same with stochastics starting to turn, so I would be watching this for a continuation move higher. And of course, we know, already discussed what sectors will do well in that environment and what won't do well. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on this week. You can see here, this is the transports. Always like to look at those as a sort of a leading indicator. You can see here we're still well entrenched in a downtrend using this 20 moving average as resistance. So just keeping an eye on that to see if we actually can break and hold above this for a bit of a trend reversal here. Momentum is starting to pick up to the upside. On RSI, maybe MACD is showing a bit of an improvement. Stochastics are not. So it's kind of interesting getting a bit of the mixed signals from the two momentum indicators there. And you can see here on a weekly, we're pretty much tight in the range here. Stochastics on the weekly might actually be moving up a little bit. maybe we're putting in a bit of a double bottom here. So we'll be watching maybe for transports to take a turn. So certainly if the economy starts to look stronger, it certainly does look strong right now. We'll see maybe a reversal in trend there. So you can see here again, Dow finishing off the week, all-time high, up 0.4% on the week. Volume, still sort of summer volume, a little bit on the light side, but all the indicators are looking strong. Again, the weekly indicators all looking pretty strong, pretty overbought on the stochastics. And the Q's off a little bit on Friday, obviously, with the pop in interest rates. And maybe we are rolling over here a little bit on some of the momentum indicators here. So look for possible weakness in the Qs. You can see here, even on the weekly, we were still up on the week. So, yeah, maybe putting in a little bit of a topping action again. Really going to depend on interest rates, and you can see here, volume pretty light on the weekly. Again, sort of summertime trading. And the SPY just continuing to grind higher here. Volume again pretty light. All the indicators look like we are still wanting to go higher. Same with the weekly here. We are a little bit overbought, but we can stay that way. You can see how we can stay that way for a long period of time. The IWM actually could catch a bid here as well if interest rates start to go up. And we are seeing some momentum to the upside here on the RSI and stochastics. MACD histogram still looking positive. So I'd be watching for a move to the upside on that one as well. Again, it should do well in a rising interest rate environment, which we may have here. And again, we are pretty range bound with this index, as I've been talking about for many weeks now. We just seem to be stuck between this sort of 210 and 230 range. So a really impressive move would either be a break above this 230, 232 range, or a breakdown below the 210. I kind of doubt we're going down, but we could just continue to chop here. The dollar, again, big move on the dollar on Friday on that jobs report. And again, I mentioned that earlier. And of course, you know, the VIX fear index, we can see here, just no fear in the market at all. Nobody buying, reaching for premiums on options. Had a nice move in Bitcoin over the last week. Had a nice pop up here, broke through this 42,500 level. Now we're doing a bit of a pullback here. I would keep an eye on this. If we do check back to this, people that are trading this 42,400 level could be interesting. Typically what we do in a breakout like this is we go, and you can see it did it back here. We had a breakout, we had a pullback to sort of some levels here that would have been considered sort of the breakout level. And so maybe we are doing a little bit of a check back here to 42,000. And then that could pave the way for a move higher. So watch Bitcoin for maybe a little bit more of a pullback and to hold this 42 level here. And back to the TLT down, price of the bonds down as yields go up. Okay, so let's look at some stocks I've got on watch here. BABA, I'm looking for possible options trade. You can see here we do have some resistance at 210, and I'll be looking more at a call option trade, maybe selling some 210 calls there. I could protect them to the upside by buying the 215s. So that's one possible alternative other than just selling the calls naked, which is a little bit more risky. But you can see here we're kind of stuck in a range, and I feel like emerging markets, and particularly China, is definitely in the doghouse for most traders right now, given all the actions that the Chinese government has taken on some of these public companies. Dust, I'm really looking at gold. Gold looks like it's breaking down here, so possible trade on dust. This is be careful with this. This is a beta ETF. It's basically going short the gold miners. And you can see here on Friday really picked up. As I mentioned, gold took a bit of a hit, silver took a bit of a hit. So any number of ways to play this, but a simple way is just buying, for example, just buying dust here and expecting maybe a move higher up to 20, 23, 24. I'm just looking to, this is still holding. I'm watching this Green Plains GPRE. As long as it's holding this 20 moving average and a really big down volume on Friday. So we did have, after this breakout, we'd had a big volume day. And then it pulled back and then came back to the 20 moving average and then went higher from there. So I'm kind of watching for an opportunity here off the 20 moving average. Kirkland's really been sold off here. You can see here we're kind of holding this 19 level, and right now we're trading at 1952, still using this 20 moving average, but it kind of looks ready to break this downtrend. We did have a bit of a break of trend and then a pullback. If you can imagine drawing that line, I haven't drawn it, but it did pull back, maybe check back to this trend line, bounced off it, and certainly a close above 20 would be a positive. We've got some stochastics turning up here, RSI turning up, so KIRK looking interesting. KOPN again reported earnings. You can see what happened here, but now it's starting to pick up again. Certainly a close above 6 would make this interesting. You see the stochastics starting to turn here as well. KWeb again, if you wanted to short, you could short this if you really didn't think the Chinese internets were finished going down, but we are down into an area of support here and really oversold. Plug had a terrible day on Friday. You can see it gapped up. It looked like it was going to go higher, but pretty much with all the technology stocks, it sold off. And I would say a loss of this sort of 25 level would be a good shorting opportunity here, especially if we get interest rates continuing to move higher. Stocks like Plug will definitely struggle. Riot, obviously a play on Bitcoin. Looks like it's ready to break out here, break above 35. Could take us up to as high as 40 there. So keep an eye on Riot for a break and hold above 35. Snap looks like it's really struggling here. Again, this is one that's probably going to struggle as if interest rates do go higher. So possible to sell some calls here up around 80. I'm just doing the short dated ones, the weeklies. Again, MACD looks like it's rolling over a bit. We are overbought. RSI rolling over a bit here, so possible just choppy action. SoFi I got stopped out of, and I really, that was a psychological error I made. I really shouldn't have stopped out of it on this pullback. My stop was 15. I stopped out early thinking it was going to lose that level, and I really anticipated, and it really ended up just holding. So that was my error. If some people are in this trade and still holding, good for you for not succumbing to fear. But that's just shows you we all continue to make mistakes and hopefully try to learn by them. RSI is looking good. URA again looking like it's trying to hold this 18 level, or I should say 19 level. So again, still in a downtrend, but looking like it broke through the downtrend, pulled back to the line, the downtrend line. Let me just show you that quickly and illustrate that. You can see here a breaks trend, pulls back. This is the good place to enter as long as it holds this trend line from the top now, and we could end up going higher again. I'd use sort of 19 as the area where I would stop out. X could do well here. It looks like it needs to sort of break out through this 2650 level. Again, infrastructure on the table. XLF, as I mentioned already numerous times here through this video, I think as long as interest rates continue to climb, we could be looking at a way better move higher here. Let's look at the weekly. Yeah, you can see here we're getting close to an all-time high, and again, could make a nice move higher here based on these rising yields. And lastly, you again getting, looks like it's breaking out of a pennant here, although it is pretty choppy, and it is, and the spread on the bid ask is not great. ZIM looks like it's going to break out here if it can break and hold above 43. Could be a nice move back up to well, certainly over 47, and then maybe the 50 level. So the only thing I can say here is pretty light volume. Stochastics looking a little overbought here. So I'm not liking the look of that. Maybe wait for a pullback on that one. Okay, so let's look at wrap things up here and look at where the futures are indicating we're going here in the morning right now. Of course, a lot can happen between now and then, but we got the Dow down a little bit. Same with the S&P 500. NASDAQ looking like it's going to take the biggest hit here, and again, sort of consistent with this rise in interest rates. And you can see here, we are getting a bit of a rise in interest rates again here. So NASDAQ may continue to struggle. And that's about it. What's happening with commodities, oil off a little bit. Watching nat gas too. Nat gas has been super strong. Look at the hit that gold and silver are taking right here, right now. So not maybe a good place to jump in on that dust trade. That's it, everyone. Hope you had a good weekend again. And in the morning, 8 o'clock, Engineering the Markets with Jared, live on YouTube. And then the pre-market show, Norm and Carlos take you through the movers and shakers in the morning. And of course, we will be trading the market open at 9:30 if you want to join us on YouTube live. Just remember that the feed is delayed. So have a good rest of the evening, weekend, whatever you got left here, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.